Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. So, guys, one of the things that Cindy and I are doing is we have been doing regular intermittent fasting. Most definitely, we always stay in an 8 hour window, usually shooting for a 4 hour window. So, we try to eat in a 4 hour window, and we basically are trying to fast in a 20 hour window on a daily basis. What we're doing right now is we're actually doing a complete reset, and we're doing it through a water fast. And so we're doing a 3 day fast, and at that point, maybe we'll take a look and see how we feel, and possibly go a little longer, because one of the things we're going to share is a 3 to 5 day fast has incredible benefits to you. And so really, we love to live a very, very healthy lifestyle. And try to work out pretty much every day, and try to be aware of everything we eat, just eating organic food and eating mostly a plant-based diet. So many people don't really understand just how powerful, perhaps one of the most powerful things we could do is fasting when it comes to our health. So just to give you guys some info, some of the benefits of fasting. Number one, promotes blood sugar control by reducing insulin resistance. So there's many studies that found that fasting can improve blood sugar control, which could be especially useful for those at risk of diabetes. In fact, one study in 10 people with type 2 diabetes showed short-term intermittent fasting significantly decreased blood sugar levels. Many people out there are going to say, I can't fast. I get too much of a headache, just after 6 hours without eating. Well, that's a sign that you have issues. It really is. It's a sign that there's issues going on in your body. And so many people, unfortunately, are not eating the right foods. And the right foods have everything to do with not only your overall health, but even your mood, your outlook, your positivity, your focus, your ability to even think is all basically either enhanced or inhibited by what you're putting in your mouth. It's such a huge, huge factor in exactly who we are. And you could tell people that eat junk food a lot of times and focus on eating junk food by a lack of ability to have focus and attention, a lack of willpower, as well as often, tendency to have diabetes, other, different things going on as far as their overall health. It's obviously weight gain is one of them. So as we get healthier, as we eat better, we'll find that we could go longer periods of time without eating. You'll find that you have better energy, a lot more clarity, and a more positive outlook on life as well. So that is one of the benefits. It promotes better health by fighting inflammation, and inflammation is the source of almost all disease, which is dis-ease. Inflammation, you cannot underestimate inflammation. And if you are eating white bread, if you're going to McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, if you are drinking soda, if you're look at the food you're putting in your mouth. And if you're eating a lot of processed foods, number one thing on the backside is high fructose corn syrup, sugar, things along those lines. You are causing massive amounts of inflammation in your body. And so it's no wonder you have allergies. It's no wonder you have migraines. It's no wonder you have regular headaches. It's no wonder you have no energy. It's no wonder you're depressed. A lot of it is what you are eating. And you can change that just by changing your diet. And instead of going and taking pills that are just simply going to mask the discomfort you get from the inflammation without taking care of the disease itself, you're not going to get anywhere. And you're going to cause more issues later on. So one study with 50 healthy adults showed that intermittent fasting for 1 month significantly decreased levels of inflammatory markers. Another study discovered the same effect when people fasted for 12 hours a day for 1 month. What's more, one animal study found that a very low-calorie diet to mimic the effects of fasting reduced levels of inflammation and was beneficial in the treatment of multiple sclerosis, which is a chronic inflammatory condition. If you have chronic fatigue, for instance, there's a lot of inflammation going on here. And it's it's just so easy to change with dietary changes. If you are adding sugar to everything, you're just causing inflammation in your body. So something a lot of people just don't seem to realize. So it may enhance heart health by improving blood pressure, triglycerides, and cholesterol levels. Heart disease is considered the leading cause of death around the world, accounting for an estimated 31.5% of deaths globally. Switching up your diet and lifestyle is one of the most effective ways to reduce your risk of heart disease. Some research has found that incorporating fasting into your routine can be especially beneficial. So one study revealed that 8 weeks of alternate day fasting reduced levels of bad LDL cholesterol and blood triglycerides by 25% and 32% respectively. Another study of 110 obese adults showed that fasting for 3 weeks under medical supervision significantly decreased blood pressure as well as levels of blood triglycerides, total cholesterol, and the bad LDL. And in addition, one study with 4,629 people associated fasting with a lower risk of coronary artery disease, as well as a significantly lower risk of diabetes, which again is a major risk factor for heart disease. I could share with you guys that, I told you before that I used to, in my 20s and then into my very early 30s, was all about putting on as much muscle and, hitting the gym and pushing 500 pounds. So I used to eat everything in sight. And, I had horrible allergies, went to the allergy doctor, and, I was just swimming in it. The inflammation from, eating just about everything in sight to put on more muscle. And my blood pressure was high, and it was, it would run between 135 and 145 over like 90, 95, which is pretty high, respectively, especially for my age group and somebody that's working out every day. But I also weigh between 225 and 240 at 5'11". And so all that changed, and they did put me on blood pressure medicine, which I wouldn't take. I got one prescription, just wouldn't take it, because I just don't like going that route at all. And I think that there's always natural alternatives. That's just my opinion. But just to share, later on, after I got Lyme's disease and switched to a vegetarian diet and, did a lot of learning about different ways to boost the immune system, help the body clear itself out, my blood pressure went down to 115 over 75, and I never had to use the blood pressure medicine. Now, my sister is a nurse, and we are the exact opposite, and she's been on blood pressure medicine ever since her early 30s, and still is. And she's, she's probably not listening, but she's not in good shape. And she's had one health issue after another, and it's all because she totally believes in the allopathic medicine mindset and taking pills to, alleviate issues. And so she's got thyroid issues. She has so many different health issues going on. It's really ridiculous, but that's her choice. We each have our own choices. So it may boost brain function and prevent neurodegenerative disorders as well. Things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Obviously, it could aid in weight loss by limiting calorie intake and also boosting metabolism. Increases growth hormone secretion. This is huge, which is vital for growth, metabolism, weight loss, and muscle strength. And it could actually delay the aging process and extend longevity. So one study showed that rats that fasted every other day experienced a delayed rate of aging and lived 83% longer than rats that didn't fast. That's a huge difference. And most of these studies equate over when we see them done on human subjects. It can aid in cancer prevention and increase the effectiveness of chemotherapy. That's up to you guys. I would never do chemotherapy under any circumstance. That's just me. Never, ever, ever. So there's different types of fast. Water fasting, juice fasting, intermittent fasting, partial fasting, caloric restriction. There's so many different types of fasting. But understanding the body and how the body works, because we've learned so much more now than we knew a generation ago. And so autophagy, which is how your body detoxifies and repairs itself. And this is a key process that honestly people weren't talking about so much, hardly at all. Like 20 years ago, you just never really ever heard anybody talk about it. So this biological process plays a key role in your body's ability to detoxify, repair, and even regenerate itself. By activating your body's autophagy process, you dampen inflammation. And again, inflammation is the number one cause of disease when you get down to it. Slow down the aging process and optimize biological function. 3 ways to do that are to eat a high-fat, low-fiber, or low-high-fiber diet, intermittent fasting, and getting regular exercise, especially high-intensity exercise. So, like, again, today we were doing our HIIT training, which basically is high intensity. So, we had, I think, 8 different exercises that we were doing nonstop, 1 minute on, 10 seconds off, and, things like pull-ups, push-ups, dips, rows, curls, all different sorts of things like that. And by pushing it at a real high pace, it's an amazing boost to your whole system, and it's going to really help you in so many different ways. So this is how the body gets rid of dis-ease. And, there's lots of ways to boost it, and fasting is one of them. So when we don't really help accentuate this process, and in fact, if we're eating a standard American diet, a completely sad diet, and living a life that's way too sedentary, it's not happening to the degree it needs to happen. And this is one of the main reasons why we have so much cancer in our society. And that is one of the processes that gets kicked into high gear when you fast. Fasting and stem cell regeneration. We all know about stem cells. Well, evidence is coming in that fasting will help stem cells regenerate. It's a fact. And stem cells, they are key, absolutely key. So cycles of extended fasting protect against immune system damage. It also induces immune system regeneration. And in fact, when you go after a certain time period, it's a complete immune system reboot. So you basically are replacing worn out, not fully functioning white blood cells with brand new ones that are able to fight disease. And so it's perfect for exactly what we need to do to protect ourselves in these times when we're bombarded by all these different toxins all around us. Long periods of fasting significantly lowered white blood cell counts. Now, that's the older blood cells that get basically destroyed. They get put through the process of autophagy, and then we have new ones that come out that are going to be stronger. And Walter Longo is somebody that's done a lot of research on this. It's amazing what it can do. The other thing is it's going to boost your HGH, your human growth hormone. And that's going to give you enhanced strength, higher energy and vitality, greater stamina, lower body fat, increase your lean muscle mass. So you might think that you're fasting, I'm going to waste away, all my muscle is going to waste away. And that's not really the case, because you're going to get a boost from HGH. So take advantage of that when you come off the fast. And then the next couple of days, take in an increased amount of protein. Although I would take in a protein that's easy on the system, perhaps take a shake. Like a protein shake would be a good way to come off of the fast. You're going to get better sleep, an improvement in mood. You're going to have stronger immunity, better hair and skin, improved memory. It's going to protect your cells, improve your cognitive function, increase your libido, improve bone density and fracture healing, and a reduction in cardiovascular issues as well. So, as we were saying again, just to recap, scientists discover that fasting triggers stem cell regeneration, and it does fight cancer. And if we're looking at autophagy benefits, again, prevents cancer, enhances muscle performance, prevents neurodegenerative diseases, and it does regulate inflammation, and it's going to fight the effects of aging and also enhance cellular energy. So again, there's so many benefits to this. And, even in the yogic circles, it's thought that water fasting burns karma. So that's another benefit. Now, this is from Dr. Mindy Pels, who we love, and we've been really following her now strongly. She's got so much good information. So you could see what happens over a period of time, and that could help you determine what you're going to do as far as fasting. So if we're looking at immune system reboot, which is in more of this magenta color, you see it goes straight on up, and right here, basically right about the 3-day marker is when it peaks. And then if we look at autophagy and HGH production, it's again at the 3-day marker, it's peaking. And then over here, intestinal stem cells, they start to regenerate at day 20, and then come on out and kind of level off and keep increasing as we go. And so obviously, if you're looking at this, the other factor here is weight loss and ketones in yellow. If you're looking at this, obviously a 3-day fast is going to give you quite a bit of benefit. If you could extend it out to 5 days, then that's wonderful. And that will do an amazing job on rebooting your entire system, clearing you out of toxins, actually increasing the stem cell production. It's just an amazing thing that you could do just by simply fasting. Just by fasting. And this is Dr. Mindy Pels' YouTube channel. So I would definitely recommend you guys, if you're interested in living a healthy life and living longer, then why not? It just boggles my mind why people wouldn't look to something like this. And again, it could be because they're depressed because they eat nothing but junk food and play video games all day, and that's all they do. And they're not physical, and that will pull you down. So if you have family members and friends like that, try to get them up off their butts, get them to be active, try to maybe cook a meal for them, and cook a healthy meal with actual organic food. It's a way to absolutely change our lives, become more positive, become more energetic, and have better health while we're here. It's a big system boost. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So I look forward to your comments. As always, thank you for your support on Patreon again, and also on Ko-Fi. And as always, my friends, God bless, stay safe, stay healthy. Namaste.